All right, everyone, we're here today with Smith College, advancing to the national championship game after a 61-54 overtime win over Wartburg College in the national semifinals. Coach Hersey, let's give initial thoughts. What's it feel like to be in the finals?
Yeah, I mean, that was quite a grind between two teams. Give a lot of credit to Wartburg, and they have a very senior-driven, heavy team, and it was we both missed a lot of shots in the first half. I think we were trying to settle in, both teams, feel each other out, figure out the defensive game plans that both coaches had sort of prepared, and then the second half. I mean, I think at halftime we really came in and settled down a little bit, tried to execute a little bit more through the depth of our starting five and move the ball a little bit more, play a little bit more inside out. And that created just better looks for us, better flow, started to hit more shots that way. That was sort of the difference in terms of being able to be resilient through a last-second shot by them and then come back mentally prepared to handle the overtime. And I thought that the team did a really good job with that part of it.
Sure, and Allie and Jesse, obviously the emotions. What are you guys feeling right now?
Even just hearing you say we're advancing to the national championship game is like, this is something you work for 6 months. And, we say every day, like, we've been working. We're in the position now. Like, all we have to do is, like, take the moment. I think what I love about this team is we're so resilient. Like, we will battle as much as we can. We're going to give it our all. Like, Wartburg played a great game. They went, they had a 4-point lead going into halftime, and, they threw some punches. And what I love about us is, like, we're going to throw, like, double back if we can. Being a senior, obviously we have 6 new people on the team this year, and just being able to get back to the Final Four, and now we're advancing, it just feels amazing. Like, this is what you dream of as a collegiate athlete, and to do it with this team, it's been an absolute dream this year, and I'm just so excited to keep playing.
Yeah. Allie, do you have any thoughts?
Just echoing that, we were in this position before last year, me and Jesse and Amelia as well. And Coach talked about, like, one of the things that she said last year in the locker room was, like, this is what we're working for. We're working to come back to the Final Four. Me and Jesse, like, we wanted to show up today. We wanted to take it. We had to take the win because Wartburg, they're a really good team. But I think, the mindset was like, this is our last shot. This is our senior year. We took a 5th year, to get this opportunity again. So we wanted to, get that. And, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And Coach, you got a 46-point output from the two sitting to your left. What kind of impact does that put on the team?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think 5th-year seniors who have been to a Final Four before in the national semifinal, like, you got to show up, right? Like, you got to lead your team. You got to be willing to take some risks. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. You got to be able to be resilient. You got to keep your mindset steady. Allie was struggling the first half, in terms of getting, like, the type of looks and also finishing on it. And then she comes out and hits 6 threes in the second half, right? And that's what a veteran player does. They stay steady, stay confident. They believe in themselves. And I think Jesse and Allie both knew there were moments where they had to make big shots, big plays, on both sides of the ball, really. I mean, Jesse had 14 boards tonight as well. They were both excellent from the foul line. So, it is a leader's, like, moment. And they showed up for us tonight. And I'm really proud of them for that.
Yeah, and Allie and Jesse, just from the players' mindset, that second quarter was not anything to be proud of as far as total point output. How do you guys stay mentally strong in order to recover from that and be able to make that change after halftime?
I think we know that we are a lot to handle offensively. I mean, we have number 1 field goal percentage in the nation, number 1 3-point percentage in the nation. And it's just about, you got to keep shooting. That's what you do. And, these are high-pressure games. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to warm up in it. And both teams weren't shooting great in the second quarter, so that was a good thing about it. It wasn't like more pressure added on. That Wartburg was like really outscoring us really. So you just have to be confident. You have to have that self-confidence to keep shooting, and then it's also like you have to have uplifting energy for your teammates. Get to the people you know you need to get to. Keep setting them up, because at some point they're going to fall. And once we came out of halftime, I think we warmed up, and I think we looked pretty good in the second half. And what I love about us is like Allie missed that 3 at the end of regulation. That was more open than the corner 3 she hit in OT. Like, shoot or shoot. You're just going to keep shooting. So, I mean, we kept doing that, and that's what I love about us.
Yeah. Just kind of adding on, I think we've been in this position before, down in halftime, maybe not playing our best basketball offensively, and I think going into the second half, we wanted to focus and shift our mindset to play for each other. When we play for each other, we play more free, we play more fun. Like, it's more fun to play with each other, and we have more inside-out game. We're sharing the ball. Jesse's getting layups. They're finding me on the 3. So I think being able to play for each other in the second half was really the mindset.
Any questions out here?
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Jesse's play in the fourth quarter? A lot of your offense was predicated on ball movement inside to Sophia, outside.
Yeah.
Except where Jesse 3 times in that quarter takes the ball, runs the shot clock down to 0, and drains something.
Yeah.
Is that a call? Are you calling ice?
Oh, we're definitely calling that. I mean, I think it's a balance, right? So I think we needed to play through Sophia, in the quarter before, which we really tried to do. And then, once you start getting, and that really allowed Allie to get some better looks. And now all of a sudden the paint opens up a little bit more. There's a little bit more space for us to operate. And that's when Jessie needs to then step up and do her matchup, right? And we did have a couple sets that we've used throughout the course of the year that really forces them to either switch or, when you put the 2 of them together in an action, it's hard to guard. You're gonna have to make a read, right? And we're gonna try to counter that. So Jessie was, had a good matchup in those few actions we went to, and she's strong, she's powerful, she was determined, and she really finished down the stretch. So, those are definitely actions we go to a lot, and she's come through for us a lot in those sets.
Jesse, when you get that call for that play that goes through, what are you looking for? Twice you scored from the foul line. Once you went to the rim and scored and got the foul. Do you have a preferred spot?
I mean, I think I'm pretty explosive to the rim. So, and I've been able to kind of work a mid-range game over the last few years and add that. So for me, it's, I know what we're looking for. And if I see my defender really playing me for the drive, then the pull-up's wide open. And if they're, kind of a little bit higher up on me, I'm able to read that angle and see that, I have a lane for an attack. And if I have a lane for an attack, that's a higher percentage shot. So I'm going to try and go for that more often. But it's really just seeing how far off the defender's playing me. If they're playing me through the drive, I'll take the mid-range pull-up. But, I want the highest percentage shot. So I prefer a drive if I can, but I'll take what the defense is giving me.
My last question then, Coach, or actually for any of you, can you talk a little bit about the difference between this team and last year's team? You got really close last year. I know obviously the roster's a little different, but talk to me about the difference in the journey this year.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think we have experience being here, and that's probably a huge difference between last year's team and this year's team, right? So for the veteran crew, that especially these 2, this is sort of the moment's not too big. We've been here, we've seen it, we've felt it. I mean, we weren't successful in that game, right? So last year, but the routine leading up to it, we've been a part of that, and our ability of understanding how to prepare, and then try to execute as much as we can. I mean, that's something that I think the experience piece really helped us with this year. So that, I think, is part one. I think the other piece is that I just love the grind of this team. They're willing to grind. I thought our defense has been really coming through for us at the end of the season. I like that we can win in different ways. I think we're a little better at that this year. Whether it's a swing to the defensive end, or if we have a great offensive game, that works too. But, I think our mindset's just a little bit, we're more willing to win in different ways, And so if we're forced to go and we score 5 points in the second quarter, we'll lock in on D, right? And it will be ugly, but we're okay winning ugly, right? Like that's part of it, right? And I think that the piece of that is that the mindset doesn't change. It's not a 5-point quarter is going to shut us down for the rest of the game, right? We're going to be able to sort of like regroup, get a new quarter, get a new start, and then try to be, more efficient on the offensive end. So I just think this group has that type of mentality, and that's why we're here.
Thank you. Offensively and defensively at the end of regulation, this is for Coach, you have a chance to win that game. Obviously,
Yep.
you play overtime. What are you saying in that huddle to kind of reset the mentality entering overtime?
Yeah, it was quickly mindset driven. I mean, it was I didn't think in terms of our ability to continue to execute, defensively or offensively. It was more a message of this is how we're going to handle this moment right now, right? And we're all going to do it together, and this is what we're going to rely on, and we're going to believe in this, right? And actually, a big part of that was the experience piece, and our ability to like handle this and regroup quickly and focus on what the next positive action we could have out of it. And the first play we came out of the halftime after the overtime was a 3 from her, right? So, that's a great tone-setting overtime message and got us that first 3-point lead, and then we held it the rest of the overtime. So, yeah, I mean, it was a great shot by them. I mean, we were all over. It was a great shot by them. And, yeah, pushed it to overtime. And now we got to, continue to find a way to get ourselves in a position to win.
To that point on the 3 from her, is it what your teammates said? It just shoot or shoot? I mean, kind of take me inside the mentality of the courage to take that shot.
Yeah, I feel like I've been in this position before. I've had the experience, to be put in a position to score like at my best. And so when I'm in a flow state, or when I'm shooting well or maybe not shooting well, the mentality is to keep shooting the ball. Percentage-wise, it should go in eventually, and that I'm kind of just keep shooting that mindset, shooter's mindset. Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit, Jesse, to she puts you ahead 54-51. You score with, I think it was just under a minute and a half to go. There was a general feeling just being behind the section of your fans that, all right, this is the one that might lock it up for us. Kind of take me through that play that put you all up 57-51.
Yeah, obviously, I think we went up 5 with less than a minute left. Allie hits that 3, and it kind of takes a little bit of pressure off. Like, 3s are huge momentum shots for us. So I think everyone was able to kind of breathe a little bit, get a stop on defense, and we knew we were going to get a good look offensively if we got a stop, and we did. I happened to make my shot, and then it's all about still getting stops though. Like a 5-point game in overtime in this type of environment really isn't anything too crazy. So felt good to get the 5-point lead, but our fans started doing the defensive chant. We knew we had to get another stop, and that's what we did. So just got to keep grinding.
And then finally, for all 3 of you, obviously this is a huge win and congratulations.
Thanks.
However, anyone looking at whomever you will face on paper would say that you are the underdog. I understand that games are not played on paper, they're played inside gyms like this one. However, can all 3 of you speak to, is there advantage to being, arguably a decided underdog?
I think we'll take whatever storyline that's going to land with this group, and we'll use it to get ourselves focused, prepared, confident, and ready to battle. and those are controllables we have. Has nothing to do with NYU or Transy. Those are things that are part of this program, part of the character here, part of, our belief in what we're capable of doing. So, we'll be excited to watch this next game. It will be a great game. Two really fabulous teams. We have a lot of respect for both programs that will be playing out there. But we'll be ready. We'll be ready for Saturday. And, we're going to find a way to make it. If it needs to be ugly, we'll find a way to make it ugly. If we're shooting the ball really well, that's going to be in our favor, right? But we are going to have to play 40 minutes. That's one thing, very, very realistic about. It's going to have to be a 40-minute strong effort on both sides of the ball from our team, and we'll get ready to try to get that done.
Yeah, I think it's all about the prep for us. I think our coaches work really hard to prepare us for these games and to set us up to be the most successful that we could be. So I think Coach talks a lot about how we win before the game even starts. How we prepare will help us in the game the next day.
Yeah. We're ready for it. No moment's too big for us. Trust the coaching staff that they're going to put us in the best position to win the game. They always do. It's got us to where we are today. So trusting in that, trusting in the staff, trusting in the team, our body of work. And on any given night, I would take this team against anyone. And the NCAA, anyone can win on any given night. There's no one else I'd rather be going into a national championship with, and, fully confident in this group that we can get it done. So, I'd go to battle with any single one of my teammates. So we're ready for the moment.
Ladies, Coach Percy, Ali Amada, and Jesse Ruffner, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win tonight, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both.